Why, hello there. It has been a year. That is how long it has been since we've really seen each other. Sorry about that, but boy, you haven't aged a day. What's your skincare routine? What do you do? Do you hydrate a lot? A lot of moisturizer? Whatever it is, it's working. Keep it up. Hi there. I hope you're well. I would like to update you on what's happened the last year of my life, because a lot that's been very good, and then one thing in particular that's been very bad. So I'd like to tell you about all of it if you're willing to listen. And we'll start with, I guess, the big news, the title of this video, which is that the Curiosity Box, and you might be familiar with that, but the Curiosity Box is a subscription box that we created here. It was an idea that I had, and luckily Michael and Kevin really liked it, and so we built a team and we made this business where we sent science toys and puzzles and experiments to curious minds. For 6 years, we've been doing that. And over the course of those 6 years, the business has grown and it's become even more exciting. We've been able to make more things and touch more minds, and that's been wonderful. And so we wanted last year to keep growing. We wanted to create new product lines, different categories, science kits focused on chemistry or biology or physics or engineering. And to do that, we saw a few different avenues, but the one that we decided on was, could we find someone to become a part of another business that had the same goals as us to help achieve the dreams that we've always had at Curiosity Box. And so I took it on myself to start that process. Now, I'm not going to go too into the nitty-gritty because it's not that interesting, but just a few key points. When you generally want to sell a business, you usually hire a person called a banker. And a banker, their job is to run the whole process. They know interested parties or parties that could be interested. They know how to put your entire business together in a way to present it and bring it out into the market. And it's a lot of work, and it's never ending. And so we met with bankers, and they always told me the same thing. Oh, so it's like a merch business for your YouTube stuff. It's like, no, it's something more than that. But they didn't see it, and they wouldn't. And I've experienced that a lot in my career as a creator, and I'm sure if you're a creator, you've experienced that as well, where people just don't really understand what it is that you're doing or what you're trying to achieve. I usually take that with, cool, then I'll just do it myself, I guess. So I did. Took it on myself to do something I've never done before, and it turns out it is a lot more work than I naively thought. And that's one of the reasons why I've been gone for an entire year, because my life has just been trying to do this, trying to accomplish this, because it's very important to me. It's my baby, this business. So anyway, we found the perfect partner, and it's Mel Science. That's who we're now a part of, and I could not be happier. They are amazing. And it's kind of funny, we actually reached out to them, because again, we wanted to make physics kits and chemistry kits. I was actually talking to Mel because their science kits were so good that I wanted to try and get insight from them on how they made them so well and what learnings we could kind of take away for our own. So in those conversations, and at the same time I'm trying to find the perfect home for Curiosity Box, it kind of just turned into that. Like, what if we just joined forces? You know, they really love the Curiosity Box. They love the products that we had created. They loved the branding. They loved Ink, our mascot. And we had the same goal. I remember they asked me, what do you hope to achieve with the Curiosity Box? And I said, well, our ultimate goal is to create the best educational toys on the planet. And they said, that's our same exact goal. So it worked. So that is who we are part of now. It's very exciting. I'm very excited about it. I think over time, I don't want to make too many promises, but over time, you'll see the Curiosity Box just getting better. One big thing that they have that we don't is just a massive team of engineers and scientists and researchers that we can now plug into, which is amazing. And they also have shipping facilities all across the planet. We only have them here in the United States, which is why if you live internationally, shipping is quite a lot of money. That over time should hopefully be diminished because we'll actually have shipping facilities in the UK and in Europe. And I'm very happy about that because I know that has been a limitation for a lot of people. So that's great. Most important thing. It was very important to me that our entire team here be taken care of and continue to work on this business because they're such an integral part of it. It wouldn't be where it is today without them. So luckily, they're all still a part of it. Same team, Kevin, Michael, our general manager, our marketing, our science researcher, everyone is still there. And I'm very thrilled. The only person who's not is me. And there's two reasons why. I was the COO of the Curiosity Box, the Chief Operating Officer, and that means that I oversee the entire business, from the financial side of it to the direction that we're taking the business in terms of products or new product lines, and it became a full-time job. And I started having less time to do what I really love, and I'm fortunate enough to have the option to do, which is create videos. So I'm fine with not being a part of it. The other reason is that they already have a COO at Mel Science. They don't need another one. I was a bit redundant, and their CEO is fantastic. So there wasn't really a place for me, and I wasn't going to fight for it. I was like, you know what? I would like to focus on something else now. You know, my job was to build a business and make it successful, make it scalable, and I think I achieved that. So that's really great. I'm not upset about it at all. And I'm going to include links down there to Mel Science and to CuriosityBox, so you can check it out if you want. It's really cool. They are the best people that we could ever be with. Their products are legitimately incredible. Like, they're very, very good. And that also, sorry, now I'm just gonna ramble. This video is gonna have a lot of tangents. I haven't done a tangent in a while, so you're welcome. Like I said before, this past year, I also haven't made anything. One, because I didn't have the time. I would literally wake up in the middle of the night just so stressed out about this, about trying to find the perfect home for CuriosityBox. It took up all of my time, all of my energy, and I just didn't, maybe this is an excuse, I don't know, but this is how I feel. I just didn't have the energy, mental or physical, to then also be like, great, now I need to research and write and shoot and edit an entire video. It just wasn't there, and I disappeared from this channel because this was one of the biggest things in my life that I couldn't talk about with anyone. You know, you can't talk about these things until it's done. So I just couldn't talk about it, and it felt disingenuous to be like on Twitch or to be here and have this very huge, important thing happening in my life that I just couldn't speak about. It felt strange, and I didn't like that. But now my plan is to get back to making videos. So I can't wait for that. I've honestly felt like I haven't done anything the past year because I haven't made anything. The other good news is, you know, actually, this ties into the CuriosityBox. When we decided to move Vsauce to Los Angeles back in 2016, but I moved here because I believe in Vsauce and I believe in the CuriosityBox, and I knew that I could help grow it. I could help make it something more. And so I remember this. I specifically moved here and I made a goal to myself, which was that in 5 to 6 years, I would be able to move back to New York because I would have succeeded, hopefully. I would have been able to create a business that got to the level where it no longer needed me for it to be successful. And I think that's where we are. So with that said, we are moving back to New York, myself and my girlfriend. And I'm very excited to go back to New York. LA's been very nice, and I have a lot of great friends here. But New York, it just feels like home there. It just feels natural. When I walk around, I don't know, I can't explain it. It just feels like I'm whole. So I'm really excited for that. We're gonna be moving in the next couple of weeks. So maybe the next time you see me, we'll be in New York, who knows? But we're also driving across the country, so maybe we'll do a little road trip together. I'm not sure yet. So that's very exciting. The other very exciting thing that happened recently is while all this was going on, you know, I still tried to be creative. I maybe couldn't make a full Vsauce 3 video, but I still wanted to make something. So I created a new TV show, and we're currently in development on it. So that's very exciting. I can't say too much about it just yet. Once development's over, then I will share with you what it is and what it's about, but I'm very excited. I can't wait to be making something again. So that's gonna be really, really cool. Very, very happy about that. All right, now let's get to, let me just make sure there's no other good things to get out of the way. I think that's it. So yeah, let's get to the bad part. And I apologize in advance because this video is about to take quite the turn. So bear with me. But at the end of January of this year, my mother was having some issues with her eyes. And she wasn't sure what was going on. So she went to an optometrist and they said, your eyes are perfect. It must be something else. So then she went and got some scans done and some tests. And she called me and told me that they found a tumor in her lungs and in her liver and on her spine and in her brain. And it was stage 4 cancer. And that was a huge surprise to everybody, especially, obviously, to my mother, because she felt fine for the most part, besides the issue with her eyes. She'd been going to work every day and walking the dog, and I had just seen her. She came to visit a few months before that. And we'd gone walking and gone out to dinner and had a really lovely time. So it was a big surprise, but I immediately flew out, having gone through cancer myself. I flew out there to be with her and give her whatever advice I could, because she immediately, given the severity of it, immediately had to start radiation and chemotherapy. I was there with her, and we had such a lovely time. We made dinner, every night, and we would walk the dog in the yard and watch movies. I got to show her The Raid Redemption, which she loves action films. It's like her favorite genre. So she loved that movie. And I told her, okay, next time we'll watch The Raid 2 because it's even crazier. She was very excited about that. But, I got there and I helped because I knew when I got home from treatment, I didn't want to do anything. I just want to sit on the couch and just not exist. You have no energy. Going to the bathroom is a chore. Getting a glass of water is a chore. So I got her on this meal plan that I really liked where she just had to reheat things. Didn't have to take out pans or plates or anything. Just reheat things. And then she was really excited. We picked this really nice lounge chair that she liked. So when she got home, she could just sit in this lounge chair that had lumbar support, which is very important to her. And it had a beverage cooler so she wouldn't have to get up and get water all the time. And it had a little USB port for her iPad so she could just relax and have some level of normalcy. I left because I had to go back to film a show. And then my brother was flying in to be with her for her first chemo. And then I was going to fly in right after that for her second treatment. So, I told her when I left, I was like, okay, I'll see you in like 2 weeks. And then I left. And then 2 weeks later, she died. You have this thinking a lot of times when you get diagnosed with something, when you find out something's wrong, that once you hear about it, that's when it existed. It didn't exist before then. And so, stage 4 cancer, the likelihood of survival is very, very low. And not even just survival, just existing for a year or 2 years is very low. And it turned out that, we all treated it as if she had just got it. But, we found out basically at the end. I remember when I was there with her, she asked me if I was scared. And I said, I'm not scared. Because if I could get through cancer, you can get through cancer. You're a badass. Because she was a badass. She was amazing. An incredible, incredible person. But that's cancer doesn't care. My mom was amazing. She really was. When I was growing up, I always wanted to be a filmmaker, and she always believed in me. Even more than I believed in me. She always believed in me. She always said that I would do it. We would watch the Emmys and the Academy Awards growing up, and she'd always tell me that one day you're going to be on that stage. I'd be like, okay, yeah, sure. And she was right. I was. There's a point to this, and we'll get to it in a second. I thank you for putting up with me. When I was going through her things, I found something. When I was in high school, my parents got divorced, and it was obviously very difficult for both of them, and it was really difficult for my mother, and it was, I'm being honest, difficult for me. But I stayed with her, and I stayed living with her. And she did this thing where she wrote a little sticky note that said, love you, and she would put it in my room. So I got a sticky note, and I wrote love you on it, and I would put it in her room. And over, the few years that we were living together before I went to college, we would kind of hide them around each other's rooms, just as little reminders. These sticky notes just to remind each other, to remind us that we loved each other, we were thinking of each other. And when I was going through her things, I found them. She had kept both of the notes. 17 years she had these notes, and she kept them. And I've ended every video on this channel the same exact way. And I want to tell you where that outro came from, because I am unfortunately not creative enough to have come up with it by myself. Whenever my mom and I would be wrapping up a phone call, it was the same routine. It was always the same routine. I would say, okay, goodbye, Mom. And she'd say, no, it's not goodbye. It's never goodbye. It's see you later. And I just thought that was so nice. Like, what a lovely way to finish a conversation with the idea that there will always be more. And she would watch every video I made immediately. She would always watch it. She'd immediately text me or call me to tell me what she thought of it, how much she loved it. And so this outro that I've been doing has been my reminder to her, my little sticky note, to let her know that I'm thinking of her and that I love her. Man, this video really took a turn. Sorry about that. So, it really has been great seeing you again. And I say to you, it is not goodbye. Oh no. It's never goodbye. It's